Hey guys, this is Jason. I'm reviewing The Roses, directed by Jay Roach and stars Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Coleman, and both of them play a married couple named Theo and Ivy, where Theo is a hardworking man making a lot of money and Ivy's hardworking at a restaurant, but then things change when Cumberbatch's career goes down the toilet after a failed way to market something that he's making, and Coleman's career starts to get higher after she gets a good food review from a food critic, and both of them start to slowly hate each other when one of them starts to become more successful than the other. Now, before we get into my thoughts on this film, I just want to say I noticed that 90% of people haven't subscribed to my channel yet, and most of the people that have been giving my shorts and my videos views haven't subscribed. So if you watch my videos and you enjoy what I do, then please leave a like and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a thing, because it helps my channel grow and it helps make my videos better. This comes to us from the director of Meet the Parents and the Austin Powers trilogy, and if you've seen any of those films, then you know that those movies are crazy and ridiculous. This is also a remake of the original film called The War of the Roses, which I haven't seen and I don't really know much about that. All I know about that is that Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner are a married couple going through a divorce, and Danny DeVito plays a lawyer. So if you're wondering why I didn't mention like this certain part from that film or something that's supposed to relate to this film, it's mostly because this review is coming from someone who hasn't watched the original yet. And going into this film, I already knew that this film was going to be crazy because of the director's filmography. And was it crazy? Yeah, it was, but the good kind. For the most part, because this movie is about a married couple that's trying to have a nice normal life for their kids or trying to do something special for them. But when Theo loses his job and Ivy's restaurant gets more popular, they start to slowly hate each other to a point where they start to be brutally honest about each other. They're not being subtle with how they feel, they're not keeping it inside them, they are literally saying terrible stuff to each other. They don't even feel any remorse when they do that, they just say it out loud because that's how they feel. They don't try to keep it in themselves, they just say it out loud. They start to show their brutal hatred for each other where they don't feel any remorse for what they say or do to each other, where it's one of those times where you get to see one character be unlikable and the other character to be sympathetic, and sometimes those roles get reversed. Now that can lead to some audience members watching this film feeling uncomfortable when they're seeing the couple do that to each other, and I had a couple of moments where I felt uncomfortable, but it was the kind where it was supposed to be, because you're seeing two characters that are slowly starting to hate each other to the point where you get to see them looking like they want to kill each other. And it can kind of go both ways, where that relationship being toxic can either be really funny or it can be very unpleasant. And that can be a problem for some audience members, because they're gonna get confused about which character they're supposed to root for and which one we're supposed to hate, because you start to hate both of them. But what makes these two characters work are their performances. Both Cumberbatch and Coleman are excellent here. They make the characters funny and likable, even though they're saying terrible things to each other throughout most of this film. Like, they would be saying some things that are just very toxic and you're like, whoa, that's too far. But again, what makes them work are their performances, where they make their toxic lines funny. And since now I'm getting to humor, it can be a hit and miss, where some of it is very funny from Cumberbatch and Coleman, but when it focuses on other characters trying to do humor, it isn't very funny. Like, it has some side characters that are supposed to be funny, but their humor can come off as cringe. Like, some of the side characters in this film are Andy Samberg and Kate McKinnon, who are both very funny. I think they're both talented comedians, but here they're not very funny. Their lines and their physical comedy throughout this film really come off as cringe. Like, you have Andy Samberg that's just popping jokes every once in a while that's supposed to be funny, and Kate McKinnon is just constantly hitting on Cumberbatch throughout most of the film, where I can see how that could be funny, but the way they do it here just didn't work for me. There's also some ridiculous and random moments that are supposed to be funny but just come off awkward, like one moment where two characters are doing certain things, and another character comes in and realizes, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to come in, I'm just gonna get some fruit, bye. Like, that part was supposed to be funny, but it just comes off random and out of place. And where the film loses me a bit is in the middle part of the film, the second act, where we get to see how the characters are doing after the first act and what's been going on, where you have one of the main characters that's building a new house for the family and it's supposed to be a fun thing for them, and the kids are doing a special thing for themselves, which I won't get into spoilers, of course. And that part can drag a bit, where it feels like it's just focusing on different parts of the other characters instead of the main story. And a lot of the stuff in the second act didn't feel like it mattered for the rest of the film until we get to the third act, which, again, no spoilers. When we get to the third act and that awkward dinner scene, which is also similar to the awkward dinner scene from Meet the Parents, except this one's a little different, of course, where this film takes all the stuff that it's been building up to throughout the whole runtime, taking it all for this finale and giving us a pretty big and intense moment. Allison Janney is also in this film, and despite the fact that she's on the posters and the marketing for this film, she's not really in it that much. So if you are a fan of Allison Janney, don't expect much of her, because she's only in this film for 4 minutes. The Roses is an okay dark romantic comedy that has great performances, great humor from them even when their lines are pretty toxic, and a very intense but fun finale, all done with a great build-up for how their relationship is slowly turning out. And now that I've seen this film, I can say that this film is more of a dark comedic version of the 2019 film Marriage Story, where that film also relates to a couple that's trying to go through a divorce, and you see how the relationship fell apart and how that led to a big moment in the third act. Of course, that movie does it in a more realistic way, but they are very similar, where one of them is more comedic than the other. If you want to see a dark comedy about characters that look like they want to kill each other but don't take it too seriously, then you might have a fun time with this. But if you want to watch a serious romance movie about characters having problems in their marriage, then this is not for you. Just watch Marriage Story. That one is a more serious take on that. As for me, as someone that likes some dark comedies, this one was an okay watch, where it does have some good humor, but mostly from its main leads. And it's something that some people will still enjoy, because I did see this film in the Tower Theater in Sacramento with some friends, and a lot of them loved it. They laughed so hard watching this film. And as for me, I was still having a fun time and having a few laughs. I'm gonna give The Roses a B-. So guys, if you have seen The Roses, what do you think about it? Do you think it's a great romance and a great remake, or do you think that this film wasn't very good? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you like this video, then please leave a like and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a thing, because it helps my channel grow. Hit the notification bell so you know what other videos I'm posting. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.